And Mayor Kevin Faulconer is now doing his daily coronavirus update. Let's listen in live.
President and CEO of the Asian Business Association, and Jesse Navarro, who is a board member of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. April was the month for aggressive action against the spread of this virus. May is the month that we are prepared to reopen our economy. But before I do and get into that, I want to first commend San Diegans for all of your continued hard work, for following all of the protocols, particularly your help and support of the beach reopenings this week. This past weekend was a big test. You did a great job, San Diego. Thank you for following all of the protocols out at the beach. Thank you for keeping that social distancing, moving along the shore, keeping that social distancing in the water. You did a phenomenal job. And you're really showing the rest of the state and the rest of the nation how to do it right. So thank you. And a special shout out to all of our lifeguards that were out there, the men and women of our lifeguard division, and of course, all the men and women of San Diego Police Department for a great job, keeping everybody safe. And thank you again for following the rules. As we are seeing some of these reopenings, of course, it's a reminder to us all not to let up. As we have talked about, we do not and we will not give back the gains that we have all fought so hard for over the last month. Keep up that physical distancing. If you leave your place, you must cover your face. Wash your hands frequently with warm soap and water for at least 20 seconds. And if you're sick, of course, stay home. So today I'd like to provide a couple of updates. First, on our guidelines to reopen San Diego's economy. And second, of course, I'll be highlighting the work that San Diegans continue to do to step up during this great time of need. But topic number one, I think the most important, which is a way forward to reopen our economy. Today, the governor spoke about statewide steps that he's taking to create metrics, phases, and a plan to evaluate reopening. And many San Diegans, of course, are asking, well, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for my business? It means that counties that are ready could be given the green light to begin a phased reopening. And I'm happy to report that San Diego has already been preparing. We are ready. San Diego is ready to recover. And San Diego has led, of course, on a safe plans to begin reopening our parks and our beaches. And now San Diego is prepared to lead with a responsible approach to reopen our economy. Today we are introducing guidelines to reopen our San Diego economy. These are countywide that we've been working on. It says, how do we do it safely? How do we do it strategically? And how do we do it specific to our very diverse communities? It's very simply a strategy that helps put San Diego back to work and helps businesses get a head start on their reopening plans. It can be applied to restaurants. It can be applied to any business, hair and nail salons, any business that is preparing for the time that we can safely reopen. And it's based on recommendations from the people on the front lines, San Diego's businesses and employees. These were the groups that developed these recommendations. 2 weeks ago, Supervisor Cox and I established the Recover Advisory Group. It was binational and bipartisan group of San Diegans. They had small business, labor organizations, major industries that employ thousands of representatives, and it was very diverse. Representatives from our African American, Asian American, and Hispanic communities, just to name a few. And it was very diverse regional, North County, East County, South County, and even across the border. In total, we had 30 organizations representing tens of thousands of jobs and employees. And what was so important to us at the beginning was let's come up with a collective-wide group of standards that we can do countywide. And again, show how importantly that San Diego has gotten to work immediately. This group did not waste much time. They held video meetings twice a week. They were assigned tasks for each member, and they did a lot of research and provided recommendations. The recommendation guidelines fall in 5 categories, and each includes a checklist of actions for businesses to take to prepare to reopen. Some of the categories: employee health. How do we require personal protection equipment for employees? Compliance with contact tracing and testing. 2, safe worker entrance. How do we establish controlled entrances and exits to avoid lines, and processes for employee symptom checks? 3rd, workplace distancing and conditions, evaluating occupancy and capacity for physical distancing at any business. 4, employee training and compliance, signage for things like hand washing and physical distancing, reporting procedures for sick employees. 5, enhanced cleaning and sanitation, developing a very specific sanitation plan, cleaning of restrooms, workstations, and public spaces. These are just a few of the recommendations that this group came up with. And we know that every business is different. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach for everyone. And that's why this group also provided very specific, industry-specific guidance for some of San Diego's biggest economic sectors: restaurants, personal care facilities, attractions and tourism, commercial real estate, construction, and hospitality. So let me be clear. Every business must follow the county's health and safety guidelines, which they are preparing now. And tomorrow morning, the county will vote on a business safety framework developed in consultation with the Recover Group's recommendation. Again, I think this shows how we are working together in San Diego County and taking this regional approach to reopen our economy. These recommendations we're outlining and forwarding today give our businesses a head start to repairing, and the state and the county will eventually give the green light. In conclusion, we saw today from Sacramento, we are not out of the woods yet, but what we are doing in San Diego is working, and I thank San Diegans. We are headed in the right direction, and San Diego is ready. So thank you to all of the members of the Recovery Advisory Group for all of the hours that they have put in over these last several weeks. They took this task very seriously with one goal: how do we protect people that are coming into our businesses, and how do we protect the employees that are delivering those services? In particular, I want to thank the Regional Chamber of Commerce and the Regional EDC for being such a part of this important effort from the very beginning. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the County Board of Supervisors and the co-chair of this group, County Supervisor Greg Cox. Greg, thank you for all of your continued hard work.
Well, thank you, Mayor Faulkner. It's been a pleasure to work with you and the Recovery Advisory Group in coming up with what I think are going to be some very, very good recommendations. In the last several weeks, we've begun to talk about gradually reopening our society. As the mayor noted, we started with the creation of the Recovery Advisory Task Group, made up of business leaders, advocates, and experts to provide recommendations that companies may be able to follow as they reopen. It's not been easy to adapt to Governor's stay-at-home orders. We all know that they're there, and we've heard loud and clear from business owners who are struggling to keep alive, who are spending the last bit of their money to keep the lights on. We can't do anything about the stay-at-home order. That is clearly up to the governor. But what we can do is help make it easier for businesses to reopen safely and smartly and smoothly as soon as possible if they have a set of guidelines to work from. That's why tomorrow the County Board of Supervisors will take up an important additional step by voting on a proposal that Supervisor Fletcher and myself brought forward on the creation of a business safety framework to guide businesses as they develop plans to safely reopen. The measures are likely to be included in future public health orders lifting business restrictions and reflect the input from the Recovery Task Force, along with other input we receive from across the county. The business safety framework is made up of 5 general categories, including employee safety, making sure that sick employees stay home and those well enough to work have face coverings and keep their distance from others. Second, customer safety, encouraging businesses to provide curbside or outdoor service where feasible. Third, sanitation, asking businesses to frequently disinfect high-contact surfaces like door handles, shopping carts, and points of sale devices. Fourth, physical distancing between employees and customers. And fifth, communication, asking businesses to post signage throughout the workplace outlining safety requirements. This won't be the end-all. Just a starting point of things we'll be asking businesses to consider as they start planning for an eventual reopening. We want to be flexible, so this framework will be modified with additional guidelines like those recommended by the Recover Advisory Group. I believe this plan, along with the work done by the Recovery Group, will allow us to quickly put San Diegans back to work. We need to move quickly on this, as today the governor announced that some retail businesses will be able to open as early as this Friday. We've said all along that the governor would determine the when of reopening, and we're determined to cover the how. There's an old adage that says, the business of America is business. Well, we mean business about putting San Diegans back to work, and we're on our way to doing just that. And again, I sincerely thank the mayor and the task force for their work that they're doing. We look forward to their final report in the not too distant future. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Supervisor. Thank you, Greg. I'd now like to introduce the President and CEO of the Central San Diego Black Chamber of Commerce and a member of the Recovery Task Force, Donna DeBerry. Donna, thank you for all of your hard work.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate everything. Thank you for actually taking this inclusive approach by asking the Central San Diego Black Chamber of Commerce to participate in this recovery advisory group. And I can tell you that it was really great because we have a strategic alliance between the Asian Business Resource Group and the Hispanic Chamber and us, the Central San Diego Black Chamber. We got together and we actually talked about how we could help and help benefit this recovery and what we could bring to the table, and it was really great. And those who took part in the effort came from a variety of background with different perspectives and experiences to ensure that all the perspectives were considered as we planned this safe and effective reopening of our economy. Every community and every business is different, so we know that it's not one size fits all solution. It won't work, but it's a dynamic plan that's been created by the city and the county that would create options for businesses that reflect those differences that we all work in. We had the opportunity as Black business leaders to share our insights and what we feel is the most important task at hand, which is to get back to business. We know a lot of people are hurting. They've lost their jobs or they've even reduced work hours. But we need to put people back to work. But we need to do it the right way, keep our employees and our customers as safe as possible. And nobody knows how to adapt and adopt and reinvent themselves like small business owners. And we will adapt. We will survive and eventually thrive as we get through this together. Thank you.
Donna, thank you. That's exactly the spirit. It's what you just heard, particularly of our small business community, which is 90% of all businesses in San Diego. That adapting and that spirit and that attitude is, again, what this framework is all about. Next up, I'd like to introduce the President and CEO of the Asian Business Association, Jason Paggio. Jason, thank you for your help. Thank you for your leadership and all the hours that you put into the task force. Come on up.
Thank you, Mayor Faulkner and Supervisor Cox for this effort. We're excited about reopening our economy and getting back to work, but we all know it must be done safely. Historically, communities of color have been an afterthought to decision makers, so I want to take this opportunity and thank those for giving organizations like ours, the Asian Business Association, a seat at the table to help shape this plan. While the greater small business community has been hit hard, Asian American-owned businesses were hit particularly hard and far sooner than a lot of other businesses. That's because many of our customers began taking precautions as early as January as news of what was happening in China became more prominent. So at this point, many Asian American businesses have been struggling to make ends meet. We all know that we live in one of the most diverse cities in the country. It's one of San Diego's greatest strengths. For the economy to come back strong, we'll need minority-owned businesses to come back even stronger. That's why it's important that every small business has fair and equitable access to city and county resources with a menu of strategies to choose from. This plan provides exactly that, along with options to open safely and get people back to work right away. Thank you, and we can't wait to get back to work. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, I'd like to introduce Jesse Navarro, who's representing the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Jesse, again, thank you for your leadership and all of the work of everybody at the Hispanic Chamber.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Supervisor. It is an incredible privilege to have the opportunity to be in part of this recovery process. We at the San Diego County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, which has been around a little more than 30 years, and I have the privilege of being the founder and currently a board member, we came together as a result of this invitation. We came together and went out on the streets and started talking to our members, started talking to our business community in regards to their needs. And their needs were incredible, just as many other business owners. We have to remember that San Diego County is a very diverse business community, including the Hispanic business owners, all the way from the big companies to the small mom and pops. We went out on the streets, we interviewed business owners, and we created with a plan. We started a plan. We provided information as to how they could recover safely. We provided information how they could get financial assistance, which is something incredibly important for all of the businesses. But we went out and also provided a lot of the information that all of us here have shared. This has been a process that is a very difficult process all over the county for every business community. But I would say so, especially all of the minority business communities, we have suffered even more simply as a result of, the financial situations and the many other things that happen. We will continue, in our Chamber of Commerce, we will continue with this plan, with the support of the mayor, the support of the county supervisor, and we will continue until we see one by one our small businesses being able to open and being able to open in a very safe manner. Our leader, Iris Garcia, has taken an important role herself in getting the information out and getting to all of the different big businesses and small businesses that we represent. It is a privilege, Mayor, it is a privilege, County Supervisor, that we have taken, and we will continue being a part of this countywide process. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jesse. And I think what you've heard from all of our business representatives is a couple of things. A great San Diego spirit, a great sense of community, a great sense of urgency, but to do it the right way. And that was this task force's charge from the very beginning. I want to thank everybody who's involved, will continue to be involved as we refine these over the coming days and weeks. And again, to Supervisor Cox and all the members of the County Board of Supervisors, we're showing, I think, the state how a region can work very, very well together. That will be our hallmark for success and our continued success. I'm looking forward to participating in tomorrow's Board of Supervisors meeting. And finally today, before I take questions from members of the media, our continued efforts to highlight San Diegans who are stepping up during this very great time of need. As we talk about, as I said, flipping those businesses from closed to open, I want to highlight one San Diego employer who is stepping up right now to provide much needed relief for their workers who are struggling to make ends meet. Grain and Grit Collective employs about 180 San Diegans at several restaurants in Little Italy, Seaport Village, and along the Embarcadero, including the Carnitas Snack Shack, Not Not Tacos, the Little Italy Food Hall Bar, and Gray's by Sam the Cooking Guy. And working with the employees, the CEO has created a hardship relief fund for struggling coworkers. And to raise money for the fund, Grain and Grit Collaborative is selling digital recipe books and T-shirts that also include positive messages that are reminding folks to as we all know. So thank you to the folks at Grain and Grit for banding together to help out your fellow employees and continuing to do the right things. As we get closer to making some of these very positive changes, we will do it by working together as one city and as one region. If you know somebody who is stepping up, please send us that information to #SanDiegoStepsUp. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions from members of the media.
And today's first question comes from Anthony Pura with 10 News.
Hello, Anthony. Can we hear you, Anthony?
Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Hello?
you. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, Mayor. Is there an all-inclusive list of businesses that will be allowed to reopen? Is there a place where people can find that list? I spoke with a jewelry store that isn't sure if they will be allowed to reopen on Friday.
Yeah.
So are jewelry stores included on this list? And what do you say to businesses that are not sure if they should be making plans to reopen on Friday?
Yeah, what we're going to receive, as Supervisor Cox just mentioned, we're going to be receiving more information from Sacramento and the governor's office in terms about specifics. What we have put together in this framework is guidelines that all businesses can and should be doing, and even some specific guidelines in certain sectors. But to whether or not that that flag comes down, if you will, that green light, I think we're going to be hearing more information out of Sacramento in the coming days before Friday.
And the next question comes from KOSI News. What are you doing to stop short-term rentals that violate the stay-at-home rules?
Well, we're working with everybody, any businesses that violate any stay-at-home rules or orders, particularly when it comes to large gatherings or others, and send a very clear and consistent message about what will be tolerated and what will not be tolerated in terms of large gatherings, which are not tolerated, whether you're in a private home or other business. And so that is something to keep in mind. And as we continue to make some of these changes and adjustments, that stay-at-home order is still in place, and it's in place for a reason.
And the next question comes from Guillermo Mendez with Univision.
Okay. Guillermo?
Hi, Mayor. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Thank you. Hey, so I mean, I think it's just a follow from Anthony's question is how do businesses know that they qualify to reopen on Friday?
Yeah, a lot of information that we're going to still be waiting for from Sacramento and some clearer rules of the road. And so we are looking forward to receiving that clarity. What we have done as a city and as a county and as a region and with our business partners is to come up with some very clear benchmarks and frameworks that we can have here in San Diego, because I believe what will happen is counties will have the ability to move forward in certain directions with some statewide guidance. And so what we want to make sure is that our county is ready to go. And as if you've seen from all of the hard work, San Diego will be ready once we receive that guidance.
And the next question comes from Aaron with Politico. How is San Diego planning to spend its CARES Act money? Is the city running into frustrations with how it's allowed and not allowed to be spent?
We're working with folks in Washington, D.C., making sure that we have clarity as much as we can on how we can spend those CARES dollars. Of course, it have to be COVID related, so really trying to delve into what are the specifics around that. And those rules of the road, if you will, are going to be very important as we'll be releasing our May revise coming up here in a couple of weeks as to what is eligible for that CARES funding and what is not. And so as we receive those specifics, we will incorporate that into our budget revisions. With that, that's our last question for this afternoon. Again, thank you to all of my colleagues in the business community, the Recovery Task Force. Thank you for getting San Diego ready to recover, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's update. Thank you very much.